Okay, welcome back to the shop. This time I'm going to work on a little project that it's not a motorcycle, but it's definitely motorcycle related. And it might be a little bit controversial in terms of whether this is something I should actually use or not. But I will speak about that again at the end of the video and just give you my opinion on it. Anyway, let me show you what I've got in mind. Okay, this is another little project I want to get started on. This was given to me by a really good friend of mine after I decided that I didn't want to wear open face helmets anymore. That's another story. But anyway, it's a nice vintage Air Eye helmet. It was in beautiful condition when I first got it, but I wore it for a few years till it started coming apart at the seams and stuff. And anyway, I have been inspired by another friend of mine who purchased one of these very recently. And, I've been inspired to get this off the shelf and clean it up and fix the parts where she's coming adrift here and there and, get these things fastened back down where they're supposed to be and clean it up and get that ready to put back in service again this spring. No reason why not. I mean, it's a good solid fiberglass helmet, so that would take a really good whack before the shell cracked, and the all the foam inside is still in perfect shape. So yeah, I'm going to clean that up. Yeah, I just got a quick start on this about an hour or so ago. I just came out here to the shop and I just I wiped this helmet off with some soap and water, and just that soap and water got a lot of stuff off it and get a little bit more of the gloss. You can still feel though that there's just a lot of dirt and stuff, but that I'll clean that off with polish and that sort of stuff. And I started removing the strip that goes around the helmet. Anyway, I'm going to pull that off. I've got a couple of ideas for this stuff. There's trim that they use on cars that just might work quite well on this, or I can just reuse this old piece here, but we'll see how that goes. But I got to clean this off, get the old glue off of here and that sort of stuff, so I'll get started with that. Yeah, I brought this out to the wood shop to do a little more cleaning on this. Plus, it's a little bit cleaner space for doing this sort of thing. My son's been out here making garden benches, so that makes me happy. And I've used the old heat gun on the lower setting to remove the trim from around the face area here, but there's still a lot of glue. This is like old contact cement that I put on here years ago that needs to come off of there. So I'm going to try something a little more aggressive than the mineral spirits I was using. I'm going to try a touch of lacquer thinner on that, just see if I can get that glue away from there. I mean, the stuff I was thinking about using to cover this will cover that area, but I'd like to get it off first before I get too crazy. And of course, here's another part of the issue. I was gluing that down in there. Oh, for years. It would last a couple of weeks and then it would come out again. So I've got some really good glue that I'm going to cement that in with too. But first I'm going to see if I can get that old glue off of there. All right, all I did was use a tiny little bit of that good old lacquer thinner on a cotton rag, and geez, that did a terrific job of removing that 15 or 20-year-old glue off of there. Anyway, yeah, that did a nice job. I even gave the whole helmet a wipe down with that. I think I got a lot of the extra overspray and junk that might have got on there over the years off of there. It's starting to even look a little bit shiny. So now I gotta look after this piece of stray cloth in there and get that in there where it's supposed to be. I'm going to glue that in this time with some Some of that good old automotive goop. This thing, this stuff is amazing, just like the sign says there. When I put that in there, I know that cloth will never come off. If I need to remove that cloth again, I'll just destroy the cloth getting it off before that glue will let go. So anyway, I'm going to put a little glue on that and tuck that in place. Well, check that out. I gotta tell you, I did have my doubts that that plastic chrome edge trim was going to work there, but I thought, well, we'll give it a try, and it did certainly spread far enough to go on over that 1/8 inch fiberglass shell there. So yeah. Anyway, that's where the joint is, at the bottom where the joint was on the original black piece that was on here. Anyway, I just put a little bit of the old automotive goop right in the joint there before I pushed it down, the last going off, and then I covered it up with a little tiny piece of that aluminum duct tape. So anyway, I'm pretty darn happy with the way that came out. I did have another idea too, besides that other black edge trim that I was going to buy for this. The other idea was to just take a piece of black fuel line, the type that is not reinforced or anything, and just cut it open, like kind of split it open on one side and put that down over the edge. I'm pretty sure that would have worked out quite well too, but hey, I kind of like that chrome strip around there. I think it looks kind of cool. So anyway, this is already looking pretty shiny, but I'm just going to take a bit of the old auto sol to that and give it a good buffing up, and then maybe a coat of wax, and then I might take some upholstery cleaner to the stuff inside there, get some of the old sweat stuff off of there. Okay. Well, there I've got the inside all cleaned up. Let me try to move those straps out of the way. Found some old foaming carpet cleaner. It worked really good for cleaning the insides up, and I actually removed the crown piece there with the Norton honey on it and cleaned that up. My oldest boy actually had a girlfriend one time that looked quite a bit like that. Yeah, she was a little strawberry blonde, real pretty girl. But anyway, she wasn't right for him. So that didn't work out anyways. Here we are 10 or 12 years later. He married another pretty girl, and he's got 2 great kids, and he's doing really well for himself. Anyway, let's have a look at the helmet. Yeah, it's all nice and shiny. I touched up all the little pitted spots in the paint with just a little bit of paint, like I mentioned before, so that's ready to go. Now, there is the question of, would you actually use something like that? And for me, the answer is yes. I mean, I don't ride hard and I don't ride fast. This may be a very old helmet, but that the shell of the helmet is not polycarbonate. It's actually made of a very dense type of fiberglass that Arai came up with themselves. It's supposed to be something like 30% stronger than your average fiberglass. Plus, it's all protected under this layer of paint, so you know, I'm sure you could take a Louisville Slugger to that and beat on that all day long before you put a crack in it. But anyhow, like I say, I don't drive fast, I don't drive hard. I won't be using it that much, but in the spring, you know, before the hornets come out, and I can just wear a pair of aviator sunglasses under it or something, I'm sure that'll work out, like I say. And I'm not recommending to anybody that they use a 50-year-old helmet. But in this situation, I mean, I could tell you stories. I did have a bad accident with a 1973 helmet, and that was about probably 45, 50 years old at the time. It was a very cheap helmet when it was new. It was just a polystyrene shell on it, and I did hit the pavement with it, and I put a little crack in it right about there. But other than that, the helmet survived, and so did I. Anyway, helmet's got a crack in it, so that went in the garbage. But this one here is in really nice shape. Even the insides are really good, so I don't see the problem with using that. But again, we're talking about protecting your brain, so I'm not going to tell anyone to put on an old helmet like this and go out riding hard and fast on a 600cc Ninja or something like that. But you know, the way I ride, on the machines I ride, you know, some of them are 76, 77 years old. I'm not going to be going like a streak of lightning on them. So like I say, this helmet will do good. I'm pleased with the way it turned out. Anyways, if you enjoyed this weird little video, you could click like, subscribe, maybe even share if you want to. And thanks for watching.